Welcome to HeroTech, where we engineer gadgets from science fiction to reality and show you how to do the same. I'm Jacob, this is Maddie, this is Aaron, and this is how we built a real lightsaber with an actual blade of light that emerges in and out of the hilt. Why did we do this? We saw a gap in the world of lightsabers. The blades are actually just plastic tubes that are screwed onto the hilt. They don't actually extend or retract out of the hilt, falling short of the true lightsaber experience. When we decided to build a real retractable lightsaber, we knew we had our work cut out for us. Our main challenges were clear. We needed a fully contained blade extension and retraction, a compact to scale hilt design, realistic blade and sound, and we wanted it to be constructible by makers at home. On that last point, moving forward, all the design files, material links, and tutorials for a project are free for anyone to access for the first 48 hours after the project video is posted. Links in the description. After those 48 hours, project files are only accessible to HeroTech members on a herotech.engineering website or our Patreon. If you don't want to miss out on free design files, material links, and tutorials, subscribe and turn on notifications. Back to the lightsaber, our first challenge was the biggest. How could we extend and retract a full lightsaber blade out of a tiny hilt? We explored different light and laser technologies to create the best lightsaber blade effect. After testing a single base-mounted LED, a laser, and high-powered chip-on-board LED strips, the chip-on-board LED strips won hands down. Oh my goodness, that is bright.
It's quite bright. I'm unplugging it. Okay.
Chip-on-board LED strips pack a ton of LEDs onto a single strip, making these strips look exactly like a lightsaber blade when mounted correctly. Next, we had to figure out how to extend and retract these LED strips. We needed a mechanism that would make the strips visible while hiding the structure. We experimented with motorized tape measures, extending car antennas, and finally, magician's canes. Magician's canes are canes made of springy material that retract down into a small size, but extend out over 3 feet long, perfect for our needs. Initially, we used a magician's cane made out of clear plastic to house the LED strip inside, but it looked underwhelming, and you could clearly see the plastic of the magician's cane. We even tried sanding the plastic to diffuse the light better, but it still wasn't as good as the chip-on-board LED strip on its own. Because of this, we switched to a steel reflective magician's cane and looped the LED strip around the tip so that it's visible on both sides of the blade. We have a cool solution to make the blade look solid from all angles, but more on that at the end of the video. With the LED strip and extension/retraction structure sorted, we needed a way to control the extension and retraction. After much brainstorming and testing, we decided to use the LED strip itself to control the length by tensioning it against the magician's cane, which naturally wants to extend. The LED strip will be stored in the hilt, and a motor would control how much of the LED strip extends out of the hilt. With blade extension and retraction sorted, we started the 3D CAD for the lightsaber, and we did all of this in Onshape. Onshape is the sponsor of this video and the exclusive CAD program we use here at HeroTech. I've tried a lot of different CAD programs throughout my engineering degree and work experiences, but I have to say Onshape is my favorite. Onshape is a cloud-native CAD program, which allows you to collaborate with others just like working on a Google Doc. Aaron, Maddie, and I were all able to work on CAD for the lightsaber at the same time, which sped up development for this project. I love the quick part studio to assembly workflow, and the cloud-native environment means you never worry about losing files or progress. Our file references always stay intact, and we know everyone is always on the latest version of the design, which is not the case with other programs and something that is much appreciated. Even better, since Onshape is web-based, you no longer need a computer with high specs to use or learn CAD. You can even CAD on your phone or tablet. Engineers and their companies can try Onshape Professional for up to 6 months in addition to the free hobby and student accounts. A link to join Onshape for free is in the description, so check it out if you're interested, and thank you to Onshape for sponsoring this project. After starting our CAD, we tackled our second challenge. We had extremely limited space inside the hilt, especially since we wanted to keep the size compact and to scale with lightsabers from the movies. Our goal was a hilt no larger than 2 inches in diameter, which is exactly the size of lightsaber hilts from Galaxy's Edge, the official Star Wars theme park. This is not a lot of space, especially since we're trying to store the super long LED strip inside the hilt. So how did we fit everything inside? We designed a tank tread mechanism to wrap the LED strips around using a combo of 3D printed parts and Legos. What do you got there, Maddie?
Oh, I got some tank treads. ASMR.
We were excited to test our tank tread mechanism, but we ran into a big issue.
What are you guys still doing around here?
After the first mechanical test. See?
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Oh, does it actually not work?
Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. So this kind of sucks. This tank tread system that we were thinking of using to store the LED strip doesn't really work. There's a lot of resistance to this thing turning, and I think it's because of the LED strips themselves. And then when you combine and store them all inside this coil that's not circular, it's basically resisting any change in that bend. And every time we're moving it, we're changing that bend. It is very, very hard to move this thing. Ultimately, we moved to a circular spool design. This wide spool allowed us to fit all of the LED strip into a small space. We also needed to make sure that the LED strip could spool out and in smoothly, so we added rotating bearings at every contact point. Eventually, we fit all the mechanical components into our hilt, leading us to the last challenge. Basically, we needed to figure out our electronics. We had to find a way to power the LED strip, power the motor that extends and retracts the blade, play iconic lightsaber sounds, and control everything seamlessly. For the LED strip, we tested various strips from 3.7 volts to 12 volts, eventually settling on a 12 volt LED strip because it was the brightest, producing a brilliant, realistic blade effect even in daylight. To power it, we used a 4-cell 14.8 volt LiPo battery. But yeah, the LEDs look really good. Ridiculously bright. Next up was the motor. So we have a bunch of different motors here. We're going to be testing all of them out to see which one works the best for our application. So all of these motors were actually too weak to pull the blade in. Can't use any of these, and we'll have to use a beefier, stronger motor like this one. We used an Adafruit motor driver, some switches, and the Seeed Studio Xiao board for motor control. We wanted to power the board with a buck converter off the main battery.
Oh!
But eventually just settled on separate batteries as power for the board itself. To control blade ignition and retraction, we used the ProfiBoard V3.9, an open source board designed specifically for custom sabers. Shout out to Frederick Hubinet for his help on the Crucible forum. Frederick is also the designer of the ProfiBoard. This board let us load custom sounds for the lightsaber, and after lots of coding and troubleshooting, we got this.
Oh!
Activation button, 3, 2, 1. Switches. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. With the electronics assembled, the last step was to make the hilt casing and put everything together. Credit to Ralph Fletcher for the base hilt casing CAD, which we started with and modified heavily for our purposes. After many, many, many sleepless nights, we were finally finished. That's pretty good. Well, almost. Turns out the heat from the LED strips was very hot, as in melting our hilt hot. You can literally see where the LED strips are like burning themselves into position. So this is not good. We don't want this. It's off axis. Like the entire thing has literally shifted. We fixed the design and reprinted the whole thing in ABS plastic, which is more heat resistant. After reassembling everything, we were finally ready to test. Activation in 3, 2, 1.
That is so bright. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then retraction.
It looks so cool.
That is perfect. Is that not perfect?
So what's next? I want to make this even better. As teased earlier, you might be thinking, won't it look kind of like a Darksaber from certain angles? And it does for now. We have a trick up our sleeve to change that. There's a reason we designed the inner hilt to be separate from the hilt casing. By spinning the inner hilt and with it the lightsaber blade at high speed, we can create a solid looking lightsaber blade from any angle. This is thanks to the persistence of vision effect, where our eyes see things for longer than they're actually there. By spinning the blade quickly, the LED strips blend into one solid cylinder of light, a true lightsaber blade. We're testing this concept right now and it's looking very promising. But that's not all. I'm also speeding up the extension and retraction, making the hilt thinner, and building it out of metal. Finally, I'll be designing a bunch of different hilt casings to slide onto the inner hilt, so look out for those. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss out on new projects or upgrades. I want to say a big thank you to Maddie and Aaron, two incredibly talented, determined, and bright engineers who this project would not have been possible without. It has been such fun working with these two, and they're going to do amazing things. As for me, I just graduated college and can't wait to start posting regularly again. Comment below what you think because I'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.